Salve. You guys know what language that is?
Save?
Salve. Or
Salve?
salve, I guess, but maybe that gives it away.
I don't know. Portuguese, Spanish?
Salve, that's how you say hi in Latin.
Oh, yeah, I was not going to guess Latin. That's generally not top of mind
Dude,
when somebody
remember
pronounces something.
Well, because in that one sitcom set in ancient Rome, what was that
Plebes?
called? Plebes, yeah.
I never saw it. You
Which
really love
which
it,
is
though.
fun. Like, I mean, it's not the best sitcom, but it's actually pretty funny too. Like, they
Yeah.
have some running gags.
What
too.
did you say it was on? Like Hulu or something?
I think it is on Hulu now. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
I'll watch
because
a
it's
couple
on some
episodes.
British channel that's not the BBC, so it's like harder to get here. But it's definitely on.
BBC Two?
No, non BBC. But yeah, it's funny because they work in an office, and one of them is a copier. He literally copies things by hand. The other one's a shredder. He shreds papers by hand. And one of the guys is like a water cooler that also works there.
Like just pours water for people?
Yeah. Which is great because, that's how ancient Rome, like, you had people with super high living standards because they had, like,
People
bunch of
pouring their
slaves.
water.
Doing the things that, like, everyday regular people today
Do for themselves.
They
right?
probably literally had calculators, like some Greek
Dude, it's
fucking
like
philosopher that got
hired as a person to
not
add
hired.
and shit.
No, he got, like, his city happened
Enslaved.
to get, he got enslaved and like sent over to Rome.
You guys ever go to those restaurants where you go to the bathroom and there's a guy that gives you the paper towels?
Yeah.
It's just like, you don't have to do this, man.
Like, I think I can handle it.
I
bro.
I think he has to do it though.
I mean,
Yeah, but it's
he
just
wants to get
really
paid.
weird and creepy and off-putting. I don't like it.
But most of it is, you guys have been like other like the super fancy restaurants where they have like 5 people standing at the table. I know one of them's like in charge of like the napkins. One of them's like in charge of like
No, dude, that's
appetizers.
too fancy for
It
me.
is. It's too,
Really?
One time we went to a place like that in Chicago. It was like over the top, like fancy,
As soon as you like wipe something with your napkin, the dude just swaps in a fresh new one.
Dude, basically it was like that. It was like, we were like, okay, it's okay, man. Like, it's like, no, that's what I'm here for. You
I guess
drop
it
your
makes
napkin.
sense.
He's like, oh, here you.
It's like right before you flush the toilet. He's
Just
like
the-
goes in and fucking flushes it for you.
But hey, man,
You're like, whoa, dude, my dick is out.
That's why we have like modern conveniences, like, I don't know, bidets or something.
What? The days?
Bidets.
Oh,
But no, okay. Besides bathroom stuff or a hand dryer, like,
yeah.
I'm sure like back in the day, the king would have like 3
A guy
dudes
who had
standing around,
towels,
like,
yeah.
oh, here's
we-
my pulling up my pants, dude.
Yeah.
We've-
Or the guy who pumps your gas, dude, which still exists in 2 states.
I heard it only exists in one now.
Oh, really? I thought it was like New Jersey and Oregon.
Yeah, and I think one of them like
Got rid of it.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember experiencing
into
that,
that?
last year.
Me too. Where in Oregon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really weird the first time. I was like, is this guy scamming me? Like, he found like a Chevron shirt somewhere and he's just standing out
Well,
here.
the
It's
dude,
just some homeless guy like that.
my dude looked like a homeless dude. He wasn't even in uniform. or
Well,
anything.
that's just because it's Oregon.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Just
But
that's-
it's they're legally
love
obligated to do it.
Yeah. And I didn't know whether I was supposed to tip him or not. So I did
I don't
just
know,
to be
dude.
safe.
You know who else you're apparently supposed to tip? Bag boys?
At the grocery store?
Yeah.
That carry your bags?
Or that bag
Oh,
the stuff.
what?
No, dude.
I've
Yeah.
never seen people
Look
tip
it up,
them.
dude. I've seen it maybe like once or twice, but apparently, like I feel like on TV or something like it's
You
a
know,
regular
it's just
thing.
like, just tell me who I'm supposed to tip, and that's fine. I can do it.
How about
Or
yeah,
let's
just
just,
pay
like,
them?
let's just pay.
Yeah, or just pay them. Why do I have
let's
to
just pay everyone
charge me
enough and,
extra?
like,
Extra,
it's
you know?
weird that some things have tips and others don't, right? Like you should tip your, like, I don't know, your teacher.
Like
End of
after
the year.
lecture.
Great job,
Yeah,
music teacher, right?
yeah. The fucking 7-year-old better be giving me money.
Here you go. You had you a dime.
I wonder how much of that is kind of like dying out of convenience, like because people don't really just carry cash or small cash with them, right? Like the guy who like helps you at the hotel or something. Like, I don't have any.
Oh, there you
cash
go.
on me,
Here's
bro.
another. Yeah, bellboys. Are you supposed to tip a dude that presses the elevator button for you? That's a job that totally
Yeah,
died
it's a
out.
super fancy elevator. I've
Doorman.
run into it like very like seldom.
Doorman.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're supposed to tip them. And another big one is, and I don't think any of you guys have ever done this, is apparently you're supposed to give like your mailman a Christmas bonus.
That
By
sounds
hand?
like some.
Like in person?
You're supposed to give. Yeah, have you?
I
you
was
guys
about
have
to
literally
say that
not
sounds like a
ever heard of
really
this?
white person thing.
Yeah, dude. Apparently that's a thing.
I don't
And
even know who my mailman is.
Okay, ask Kiju, man.
Maybe
he's a
if you
mailman.
live in like
One
you
of our
have like a
listeners-
nice lawn, like when your like house and stuff.
Hey,
and
man, we have a nice lawn.
you like invite your like mailman over for tea and stuff. Like I don't even know who my mailman is. It's probably a different person every day, or maybe not. I don't
No,
know.
I really
probably
doubt
not.
it, dude.
Probably not.
Dude,
But yeah, ask
we
Keach about that.
Kiju, shout out.
He probably
I bet
gets
you're
a bunch of
listening to
credit.
this. I bet he's listening to this in the mail right now.
Dude, they'd be raking it in then.
No,
Right?
I don't think so.
Like
Yeah, I don't
during
think-
Christmas, though, if every house you deliver to gives you like money.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's the thing. In a bigger city, there's gonna be like a ton of places.
Yeah, you go to one apartment complex that's like fucking thousands of dollars.
But I guess maybe in like rural Tennessee, it's like, yeah, I deliver mail to like the 5 people within this 25-mile radius or something.
Oh,
you know?
dude, I bet he delivers it to way more people. In a bigger
Yeah, I'm
radius, huh?
exaggerating.
But we know our like mail dude. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I
He's been
guess
the
you
same
do.
guy for like I don't know how many years, and I see him here and there. I remember the mail dude when we lived in Glendale at our apartment. Like super nice dude. I think he was like a Filipino dude or something. I can't remember, an older Asian man, and he would always give us fucking chocolate. He would
Just
always
have
have
some
like
on
little like bite-sized like chocolate things, and this is something that I imagine would never happen now anywhere.
Yeah.
Or like some dude.
Get
that's-
away from my child.
Like
You
so many things.
stranger.
Like, oh, is this gonna poison him? Does he have some allergy? You give him a kid sugar. On top of which, like, you're an older man. Like, man, I feel like back then there were like generally like kind of like
you just
older
gotta
men who
accept
didn't
the
really
risks,
have. Not even that, but like it was way more accepted to have like an older dude that probably doesn't have his own kids. Just be like really nice to kids and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a neighborhood, like an older retired dude. Like, I don't know, even my grandpa, like, he would always like watch after the kids. Like, they live right next to the school and all that. Like,
Yeah.
Like you would go to him. Like, he's
I
a
think
safe
once you
man
hit
to go
grandpa status, I think it's okay. I mean, I don't know.
I don't
maybe
know,
not.
dude. No, even nowadays, I feel like, but no, do you know what I mean? There was like, I remember an older dude, like, he wasn't grandpa or anything. He was like probably in his 30s back then. People in their 30s. We grew up in the late 80s, early 90s, right?
Mhm.
People in their 30s probably look like what people in their 50s look like now.
Yeah.
Like, this guy would
People in
come
their
and play-
30s used to be way older.
This guy would come and like give us like, I don't know, little like sports stuff when we would play like outside and all that. Like,
Yeah.
tell us how to do things.
Oh yeah, I remember that too. There was some like a couple of dudes that lived a few houses down, and like they would play catch with us.
Go get it, kid.
No, like-
the neighborhood kids are
No,
going
like
crazy.
they're like, oh, you guys like baseball? Because we were like, I don't know, like throwing around a baseball or
Yeah.
had baseball gloves on, and they like started playing catch with us, and we would go over there every once in a while. Yeah, I
Sure.
can't imagine that happening today.
Yeah,
Because it'd be
Yeah.
like, get away from my son.
right. Like, oh, who's this creepy guy? Like being nice to kids? Like what?
Yeah. But it's weird. Recently, I took Julian with me because my mom watches Julian, and I work from home. And I took him, like my mom had to go to a doctor's appointment, and it was supposed to be quick, so I just took him with us, and we were sitting in the waiting room.
No.
And he was like, interacting with all the people, and everybody, everybody was having a blast. And this like
blast.
older Armenian man was like, oh, like talking to him and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
it was like, oh, can I like hold him or whatever, and this and that, and my mom, like, it's probably a large part of it is like, she recognizes that this man is like in the in group or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, sure, whatever,
Dude, I think that's
and it wasn't weird. He was just like a friendly old man,
Right, right.
not old,
No,
but,
dude, that's
grandpa.
definitely a thing with kids, especially. It's such a funny little thing. Like, let me hold.
Yeah.
Why is that a thing? I don't know.
Because you
dude.
kind of
It's so
want to
funny.
hold them,
Yeah, I don't know why.
They're
That's-
cute in ways.
That's such a weird, like, it must go back to some kind of, like, you see a big gorilla, like, holding a kitten or something.
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense somehow. Like,
Yeah,
you
there's something
naturally
in
want
your brain that makes you want to do it.
You
It
naturally
makes you want to
wanna,
be
like,
nurturing.
what is it, like, swaddle them and protect them and
Yeah.
kind of start talking goo language and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so funny.
The weird thing, and I think I've brought this up to you guys, is like baby talk or talking silly with like a baby.
It's supernatural.
Yeah, it's so natural.
Not
Even though I was
supernatural.
like, and
very natural.
I was just like, oh, that's lame. Before I had a kid, and before I had nephews and nieces too. Like, and then you
Dude.
just want to do it because it's just a natural way you want to interact with them.
Dude, do you know how insane it is that, like, pets, like cats, my cat just,
React
like,
the same way or whatever.
or every cat I've been around, dude, they do. And I didn't realize that either before I had a cat. where
Yeah.
like they react to it and like they start
'Cause-
doing cutesy ass shit.
You know, because I think the thing is, like, you speak in like these exaggerated ways, it just stands out more. And you know,
Maybe.
people who don't understand language are more likely to react to it, right? As opposed to like us talking like this right now, it just probably sounds like a drone to them, like a
Or like, oh, why are you so angry? I sound so angry. His voice is angry. But I don't know. How does he know the difference between when I'm angry? I guess you get
it's a
loud.
tone. Like they pick up
The tone,
tone, I
yeah.
guess, much more than content, obviously, or meaning.
Why is that tone so? Yes, I love it.
I think
Like you can't do that and then hurt somebody at the same time. You can't physically beat the dude. Next time
While
somebody
talking-
gets into a fight, I dare them to start baby talk. Where were you?
Were you saying
stupid
that?
fuck? I'm
I
gonna
think
beat
it has
the
to
shit
do also
out
with
of
their
you.
like ability to make sounds themselves.
Yeah.
So when it's like a
they're the sound, those are the sounds they
You
can
do
make.
kind
or
of
like
imitate it,
yeah,
right?
because like if you are making sound, because you probably incorporate sounds that you hear Julian make, and like into how you
for
make
sure.
Right.
into how you communicate.
So
with
he
him.
recognizes it
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah, and
Dude,
so
you-
you try and get him to reproduce it, and
Can I say that I feel like you kind of build that bridge as the kid gets a little older. They still can't say everything exactly the right way, but you kind of meet them halfway almost.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it kind of helped because like I know so much stuff like my niece says, like we call her name is Evelyn. For the longest time we called her Annie because that was how she would refer to
Say
herself.
her own
Just
name.
Annie, that was like the easiest thing to say. Or like to her siblings and all that. Yeah, I feel like you kind of meet them halfway and they start to learn how to speak the language. Like people used to think baby talk, or some people still think, I guess, just heard like don't talk to your kids in baby talk, but no, it's actually very normal, very useful way of teaching a kid how to talk.
I mean,
you
I'm
know?
sure like any way you can communicate with them, is the
No,
correct
but
thing to do in a way. Like,
well, no, if the only way you communicate with them is slapping them, then it's not the correct.
okay,
thing to
well,
do.
vocally.
But
Anyway, I
but
don't know.
even just in that way, like I don't know, they learn it's like comes natural, but it doesn't mean
Yeah.
they're immediately going to start speaking like perfect English or whatever.
Right? Yeah.
That
There-
baby talk helps bridge the gap. Is all I was saying.
yeah, there's studies definitely later though, like in maybe late toddler after that, where talking like a baby is actually detrimental for their learning.
Right.
Probably
right,
that's
exactly.
because you're like condescending to them at that point.
or like
or-
there's something wrong with if they're not getting out of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
step
and
or-
and just like you want to develop them into being able to speak like we do, right?
Eventually, they
Yeah.
have to learn how to talk normal.
No, that's the thing, dude. It's supposed to be a bridge, not where you live. You're supposed to cross a bridge.
Some
You don't
people live
just
on
live on-
bridges.
Well, some trolls live under bridges.
Yeah.
But yeah, my sister who's a psychologist, and she I think studied kids a lot, like child development and all that. She was saying, it's about like kind of hitting developmental points.
Milestones or whatever.
Yeah, milestones, exactly. That's the term.
Just to show proper development, not proper necessarily,
yeah,
but
dude, like,
expected rate of
It's-
development or
it-
whatever.
If you basically don't hit it, it's usually an indication of something wrong.
Yeah,
Almost always. So once in a while, some kids are slower than like faster or slower.
sure. Yeah.
But at a certain point, yeah, if you don't hit those milestones, there was probably some other underlying. thing
You know,
that's-
I'll admit this on air, but like I got kind of upset with Julian for doing a thing you would totally expect a baby to do, which is
he
we
didn't use his blinker when changing lanes.
the Xbox when it lights up, it has that lit up like X on it, right? And that's the on off button. So he obviously loves
He's
running
gonna-
to it and turning
yeah.
it off while we're like watching TV or
Yeah.
something like that, or playing a game or whatever. And it's really annoying. And I don't know like how to like teach him not to do that. And I go, no. And I try to say it in like an angry way and stuff. And like, I feel like maybe a minute passes and he completely forgot the lesson or whatever, like he's not like at that level
Yeah,
where he's like
Maher.
understanding lessons. I don't know when that happens.
Dude,
Well,
you just
gotta
gotta stop
cover
him
that
from-
light.
Yeah, which is what I did eventually.
Yeah.
I used to do it with my desktop computer too.
Yeah,
Because my like these stupid gamer aesthetics, they don't realize that it's also like baby aesthetics, right? So like the
No, Maher, actually, they do.
My
It's the opposite. You're a little baby.
Yeah.
You're just going after the light.
because my desktop like
So
has
exciting.
the power button with which lights up like really cool and like this nice blue or whatever, and it like kind of like, and obviously
I wanna
like
press
Julian
it.
wants to come and like just press it.
I want to press it too.
So I'm
man. I
like
have
doing
to control
something, and he
myself.
comes to the tower and just turns off my computer, and it's like, and you have to hold it for a couple of
Yeah,
seconds.
dude, how
and
do you get mad at him? When he's like probably like laughing and smiling at you. Dude.
Yeah,
You're like,
no, he doesn't.
Fuck
he-
you, baby.
I mean, like sometimes he gets it, but a lot of times he doesn't.
He's
I
not
don't
gonna
know.
get it. At
Like, if
at
I
a
try
certain
to-
point, you just gotta like get it away from him
Yeah,
because like at a certain point, what are you gonna do, man?
yeah, but he like if I
You
like
gotta-
legit get angry at something he does, like he kind of consents it. But if I try to do it like, oh, I'm disciplining
Yeah.
Julian, he understands that I'm not serious, and he doesn't take me seriously.
Yeah.
Like
Damn.
sometimes when I say no, he thinks it's funny, and he's like, "Oh, Dad's gonna come chase me now!" And, like he loves it, And it's like,
Yeah.
this completely backfired,
Yeah, dude, I gotta say, just in a little way, I kind of obviously cats are different. And they're fucking like asshole little beings, but dude, yeah, at a certain point, like they're not like dogs either, where like you can discipline the dog. You just like you get mad and they kind of get upset about it. They
Yeah.
like really fucking care. But not with cats.
Cats
like,
really don't have that. I
like
feel
if you get mad at a cat, it'll start getting defensive and like fucking come at
what
you.
did I do? Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, man. So like the number one thing I noticed was like it doesn't help like to even get mad. Like so a lot of times he'll kind of do that, so I'll react to him. Like it's kind of like play for him, so he can run
Yeah.
away or whatever. So I just started like literally like annoying him as much as possible. That's what a spray bottle is, man. Like you do something
to
that
teach
just
him not
really,
to do something, you just annoy them.
Right, you're just doing something that really like he doesn't like, and he's just gonna
Stop doing
because
it.
he's smart enough to know, right? Like I keep doing this and this happens.
Yeah.
You're kind of positively reinforcing it when you get mad at them. So yeah, the one thing he hates, I know, is when I blow in his face.
Really? Cats
Yeah.
don't like that?
Well, my
Yeah.
cat really hates it. I
Yeah.
don't think other cats are as upset about it. But yeah, instead of like when he started climbing like the fine lace things my mom made for the fucking like the curtains and
or
all
whatever.
that. So
blow in
instead of
his
like
face.
getting mad and yelling at him, like I'll even like halfway stand up.
He's
if I'm
like, "Oh,
far
this is
away.
what gets Bobber to play."
Yeah. But like, yeah, if I blow in his face, he's just like, no, he's not about it. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you see that cat on Reddit with the spray bottle? It's like, oh, this isn't working as intended. And the cat's just like loving it. He's like,
Wait, what is a spray bottle? Just water spraying in their
water-
face or
yeah.
something?
Yeah. The cat's just
Oh,
like,
cats hate water, allegedly.
Yeah, they do. And I think it's a similar thing when I blow at him. It's like if you do
They
that,
feel
like, they
the-
just
yeah.
don't like it. I don't know.
I think they can be accustomed to water though.
Some cats are totally chill with water, man.
That is such a weird characteristic, though. Some sort of weird evolutionary history behind that, probably.
Probably, even though
Well-
like they can swim as well as like a dog, for example, or we do.
But not all cats like experience swimming. That's why they're afraid, because it's if you don't know how to swim, you've never done it before, it's gonna freak you out.
But I
Right.
mean, like dogs take to it way more easily than
And they love it.
cats, right? Like even
Yeah.
though like some pup has never swam before, they can be like, "All right, I can try this out." I don't know.
Yeah. I think that might have to do with like the individual list cats, and like dogs are just kind of like part of the
no,
group.
dude, it's a survival
pack.
instinct to try to like kind of
Survive.
claw at. You're kind of clawing at the water at a certain point. You start swimming at that point.
So like,
right?
like, do wolves swim?
Not
Do
a-
they interact with water? Do they live by rivers and shit? I don't
yeah,
know.
of course they do. But like,
They
not a-
they drink
and
water.
I'm sure they
Well,
probably roll.
every species interacts
So
with
they
water,
probably
I guess.
jump around and stuff too. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Why?
Talking
Oh.
about all sorts of animals.
But yeah.
Oh
I think,
shit! That's a great segue, man.
If we had done the animals category, but we're doing arts, so let's talk about something artsy.
That's the worst segue.
You guys consume any good art recently,
Oh,
consume.
well, actually,
or
right
produce good art?
right after the last recording, we watched Edge of Tomorrow at my house. I've
Is
seen
that
it
the one where
before.
Tom Cruise keeps dying?
Dude, spoilies.
Oh, Oh, that's not in the trailer or whatever. I don't know.
It is in the trailer, and
Live,
it's also
die,
in like
repeat.
the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Okay, yeah, not a big spoiler. Yeah, I watched that too, like way back in the
Yeah,
day.
the subtitles live, die, repeats.
It's it's like that category, like not category, but like that, like where I shelve kind of movies like that because I saw it back in the
Yeah.
day. Is like I honestly don't even remember what the point of it was in a way. Like I remember
that really
the
helps,
premise,
man.
and that's all I remember.
You know
like,
why? Because it's like
I don't even remember if I liked it or not. It was just completely forgettable in ways.
It's right there, dude. Like it's kind of like a fun movie you can watch again if it's like on TV and like it has little fun scenes in it and stuff. And
Yeah,
it's
and
not
then
the
it's
best
over,
movie.
and it's over.
It's
you
not
know?
the best movie.
You
It's
move
kind of
on.
ridiculous, and like so much of it is kind of ridiculous. But like it's a fun watch, you know. That's it.
On that note, did you guys hear about like? Well, I'm like kind of in Twitter world a lot. Did you guys hear about like what Martin Scorsese said, and like there was sort of a little bit of a backlash or whatever?
No,
guys didn't hear
not
about
recently.
this?
No.
My movies are only for white people.
No.
No. What did you say?
No, he like kind of shat on Marvel movies a little bit, or like
Nice.
I think comic book movies. He was like,
Count it.
you know, I tried to get into it, but I couldn't. And he like compared it to a theme park, and like, oh, it's not cinema. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes sense, man. That's kind of where like
But people were like really like
big theater movies are going.
mean to him in a way.
But
But it's like you know, like theme parks aren't a bad thing though. Is
They're
the
not,
thing,
but
you
like
know?
it's just a fun
Not
experience.
to
Yeah.
offend you too much, not you.
But
Well,
get
I
what
don't
he's
hate you. I
saying.
hate Martin Scorsese.
There's a difference between kind of like just making like I don't know a fun 2-hour ride as opposed to
Yeah,
like,
like
a piece of I
but
don't
like
know, art,
yeah, at that
cinema,
point it's
I
like
don't
what
know.
is art, right?
Right.
But it was really interesting because I'd been reading about that a little bit, and then I edited the episode, and we talked about like you know in this is 2 weeks ago, the episode I just edited. We had brought up like you know the French New Wave and how like directors had
Yeah.
kind of like gained a lot of power, and one of the
Right.
examples you brought up and we talked about was Mean Streets, Martin
Yeah,
Scorsese, and he
Scorsese,
was
for
part of
sure.
like that wave. And it was like, well, if you know the historical context of why, like, let's say, for example, Martin Scorsese is a well-known director,
Right.
it would completely make sense that he would shit on the Marvel movies, which is sort of like
what he was doing
almost
with
like a
his movie.
revert. No, it's almost like a reversing of that whole like cultural moment in the 70s or
No,
whatever,
that's what
right?
I'm saying. That's what he was criticizing, and his movies came from the criticism.
Yeah,
Because that's what was happening in the 60s.
yeah, exactly. And it's
Cinema,
like it's
it was
kind of
like
going
these-
back to that now.
Right, it was these really big studio movies. It was these epics, like millions of dollars, like blockbuster. Even
Yeah.
though they weren't blockbusters back then, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, and exactly, and that was the context in which
Right.
Martin Scorsese was like some young dude making like, you know, movies that probably were pretty different than what was popular at that time, you know. And so obviously he's not gonna take kindly to him.
But dude, I get it. Like even like as much as I say, yeah, I enjoy a lot of the Marvel movies, like, and they're fun and all that. Like, I don't know, like
You enjoy lots of terrible things.
You know, I watched
yeah, for sure. But like, I kind of shove them in that same category
As
as Edge of Tomorrow,
where you're just
because
like, yeah,
because
exactly.
they're
dude.
fun and they're enjoyable.
that was
like it's a little better probably made, the whole Marvel like
Yeah.
stories, and let's say anyway.
Well, I mean, they have a lot of
was a
story
one-off.
and like you know mythology or whatever to
Right.
play off of. But like I think I mentioned it on the podcast, that was sort of my reaction too. Like I hadn't seen any of the Marvel movies except like maybe parts of Deadpool at certain times because it was on TV. And I watched Endgame. That was it, right? Endgame?
yeah.
The
Okay.
Avengers movie.
Mhm.
And I didn't like even like it wasn't even like a negative experience at all. Like I'm not like a snob enough to say like, oh, I hated that shit.
Right.
It was like you know,
They're obviously
I
well-made.
get it in a way, like, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it was also the same reaction where I was like, I probably, if I knew a similar movie was coming out later, like I wouldn't be any more or less likely to see it based on this experience. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
this didn't convince me to see more Marvel movies. I was like, all right, I get it. That was actually pretty cool.
But yeah, but wouldn't that kind of convince you? Like next time you just kind of want to have the 2 hours of go
Maybe
on that
yeah,
trip,
yeah.
you know?
Like the reverse effect also happens to me, which is like why it's become like harder to watch movies too. Is like when I know, like, Julian's running around turning off the Xbox while we're watching a movie, like, it makes you not want to watch a serious movie.
Absolutely, dude. And that's why a lot of times, like, things like people suggest to me, I do like, I like save it, because I want to sit down
when the time is right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
totally.
I want to sit down and like
For
give 100% of my
7 years or however long Children of Men
Yeah,
was
no,
recommended.
it was probably
to you.
even longer, dude.
But I don't know what was there. Even like Get Out, like I didn't watch it for a while, but it wasn't because I didn't want to. It was just kind of like I want to have that time and place to sit down.
Yeah, I want to put on a throwaway movie right now or whatever.
Right, and there's plenty of things in them, like foreign language things, which like Time Crimes, man. You gotta watch that sometime.
Yeah, it is
It's not
available
even
on
that
Amazon,
long.
so I will watch it
Amazon?
in the next 15 years. I will watch the movie.
But came out,
Julian's like, hey, Dad, have you seen this movie Time Crimes?
it came out over like 10 years ago, dude. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it has subtitles too, so like you're actually gonna have to sit there and watch. So for
Honestly,
example,
I watch English language movies with subtitles on all the time.
Well, so do
like,
I, yeah,
subtitles
yeah.
are not like a distraction.
Yeah, but that's way
I'm not saying
less
it's
work than reading subtitles of the foreign language.
I'm not saying it's a distraction.
I don't know, man. I don't know if it is. Like, I think I've become like, I've done it so much that it's just become totally natural to have
Dude, I don't think
subtitles
it's that
on.
much
Even
of
like
a distraction, man.
even like
People freak-
television shows and stuff like that. I mean, it's not like you're, I guess maybe it's a little bit different if it's English or if it's another
Of course
language.
because it
But
is.
you just learn how to do it. You just learn how to consume the subtitles in a way that doesn't distract you.
Dude,
I don't
if it's a different language, you definitely have to like because it's supposed
Go learn the language before you watch the movie.
to. No, but like if it's
just to make sure that the subtitles are correct.
English, and I usually I almost always leave the subtitles on too. Like I said, except maybe in comedies because I feel like sometimes it ruins jokes.
Yeah, that's a good point. It might, yeah.
But yeah, use it as a supplement. Like if you don't recognize something or you don't hear something really well, you can go back to the subtitles.
Yeah, for stuff like that. Because it's like, if it's something like you really want to watch and you miss a line, it's better to have subtitles on than to have to like rewind, because rewinding like kills the moment entirely.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's my main thing is like when you're listening to something in English and reading the English subtitles, it's like confirmation. Whereas
that's a good way to put it.
As opposed to when you're watching in a foreign language, it's like you have to make sure that you're
it's
getting
necessary.
it. Yeah.
So it is probably a different experience in a way.
In my opinion, it is.
Yeah.
Because I do watch, certain things with subtitles, even though it's in English. British fucks.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you're watching like somebody where something where somebody has a Scottish accent or something, or like,
actually,
you gotta have the subtitles.
You like bags?
Yeah,
Like
or
bags?
something like that. Well, that might as well be a foreign language.
Actually, so
Not Scottish, whatever. What is it? What was Brad Pitt's accent in that
Pikey.
movie? Pikey?
Okay,
Is
I
that
think that's like the
Is
racial.
it like derogatory term?
Yeah, probably.
Is he like an traveler people or whatever?
Gypsy.
He is?
Traveler people.
Yeah, have you
They're not.
read of them?
They're not
They're
gypsies
not
like
like-
ethnically, but
they're
they're
not
that
ethnically
idea.
gypsies, but or
They're
Roma,
traveling.
the correct term.
I think they're Irish actually.
Yeah, they're Irish, but have like like converged on the same lifestyle or whatever.
Okay, since we're talking about movies, I actually did see a pretty crazy movie the other day
What'd you see?
with my dad. So the movie is called in English "The Voice in the Wilderness." It's a 1991 Armenian drama film directed by Vigen Chaldranian.
Is it good? You watched it?
It was like really interesting, man. Like it's a very Zayn Barbaro. Like
I don't know what Barbaro means. Barbar, like villager voice or something?
Voice in the Wilderness. That's the English
What's
translation.
Barbaro? I've never heard of that.
I think it means like
Barbaro means
two
like
things.
people's speech or whatever, folk speech.
Right. Well, you know where it comes from in Greek, like barbarian, the
yeah.
root, and
Yeah.
literally a way of describing foreign
Speech.
languages.
Oh,
It just
okay.
sounded like bar.
Yeah.
So I think that's basically what it's about. It's about like this young like priest, and it's very trippy, kind of in the same vein as the Color of Pomegranates.
Oh, it's like pretty like
With the
psychedelic in a way.
Parajanov. A little bit. I mean, like
Surreal.
Yeah, maybe that's a better
almost
word
that
for
way. Because it reminded me a little bit of like Fellini too, like Satyricon. Like you kind of have these like stage like scenes almost, as opposed to like. But there's
Story
a
or
narrative, so it's about like a young. And it doesn't give you an exact date, but you could tell it's like sometime in the medieval era.
Yeah. Wait, so what did your dad think of it? I'm kind of interested.
Oh, he thought it was like interesting, like he thought it was, a little silly. I don't know. He kind of, I think, had the same thing I did. Like, I think I appreciated it a little more aesthetically than he probably did.
There's this thing like when I was like, super like artsy or whatever, getting into these things like back in like early college.
Your dad acted like an Armenian dad.
Yeah, and I was like, like Parajanov or whatever. I was talking to him about it, and he was like, he like made fun of it in a way that totally makes sense. Like, it's
like super
fucking random shit,
artsy, man.
Yeah, it's like extremely artsy. Have you seen Color of Pomegranates?
I have not.
Like it's very hard to get like a narrative.
Like an Armenian dad would never watch that movie, unless
of course.
What are you, man?
Oh, wait, what the fuck?
Where you kid? They've all seen it though. Dude.
Yeah, you're like, I'm never gonna watch it. Now.
I mean, like they've seen
now
it
that I've had a kid.
They've seen it because like they know that a famous Armenian director made this movie. That's
I think they saw it because there were like 8 things available. But.
Dude,
it was kind of in like that vein and like that style, but I feel like Parajanov was like definitely a superior like filmmaker or whatever. But this was like, it was like pretty good in the sense of it's basically like some priest from Armenia that travels around the world and like feels like the Middle Ages. So you get these scenes of like crazy fucked up Middle Ages stuff.
Yeah.
Just like brutal or what?
I might watch that. What was it on, Bob?
I don't know. My dad was streaming
found it somehow.
somewhere.
Okay.
They watched another movie this guy had more recently. I think like a documentary about him. But he's also the director. He's the main.
Yeah.
And you're watching subtitles?
Yeah, they had subtitles and they were pretty damn good too. Because I did not understand most of the Armenian, man. It was like,
especially if it's medieval.
Well, it's not medieval exactly, but it's just like way more like
stylized, maybe.
Dude,
yeah.
I know I've told you this before, Bob, but you gotta watch that show. And like,
I don't know if I have.
I don't know how interesting this for the audience or not, but like, when you like hear of or you consume something that's like, whatever you're culturally connected to in some way, that's like, oh, this is actually pretty good. You like attach to it. Most of the stuff that's in like, let's say the Armenian channel that my mom and dad might have in the background is like, when you actually try to watch it, is really pretty bad in most ways. Yeah. It's like, but in bad in the same way that any generic thing you would watch on American television.
Yeah, like a soap opera, this is just
completely
example,
throwaway.
Right.
Is,
like the nightly news or the fucking soap operas, or
not even the news, just like Days of Our Lives or some shit. Like it seems like all of Armenian television is just one
like
Days of Our Lives.
Terrible sitcoms that are all over.
Yeah. But dude, I keep telling you about so when there's something good that you like really attach to it, I've been telling you about this show, Mergyur. You should really watch it, man. It's really good, dude.
Just literally like when we were having dinner the other night was
recommending it to you, dude. It was mind blowing because I didn't know that, and this is kind of like self-hating Armenian like angle from me, but like I didn't know that they produce stuff like that there,
Yeah, man.
Because it was like it was just really good. It was like really well made. It was a really good story, and they like in a way I was like they should just get the subtitles for this and just like show it to other people because it's like it's worth it. It was really good.
You gotta know like a lot of that stuff too. There is like really good art and things that have come out of Armenia, but like obviously 2 very big things going against it where you would see it on a daily basis.
What were those 2 things?
Let's say 3 things. Well, it's like a very small country. There's a very small amount of people that are going to be able to do that. Also, we're consuming so much like American stuff, right?
Yeah.
We're not like over there. That's not our main language. We're not going to hear about it as much either. But yeah, there's definitely way less of it. But also, like, I'm sure, like, in just like recent history, like, that hasn't been something that they've really concentrated on as much as, like,
I mean, like, you gotta
kind of
eat.
survival and stuff.
I gotta feed my kids, bro. Can't be making artistic movies.
I would say, like, throughout the 90s, like, I don't know if any Armenian movies were made, like, in Armenia after, like, when the war started and stuff. Like, this movie was made in 91 in Armenia, actually, this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. But I had to watch this with my parents because I had to keep.
There were no subtitles?
There wasn't, so I had to really focus and I had to like get clarification a lot.
I bet, dude.
And a lot of it was like, really like mostly like almost Russian slang that was like just
Okay.
in the like, even though like Russian slang is like
That's something
vocabulary
that
that
I'm
I
not
understand.
gonna get.
This was even more advanced, and I
Dude,
was
that's
like, I
something
don't
like
get it.
my parents are probably gonna get less too.
You know, like my parents are similar to your parents, but they kind of got it. It was
Yeah.
in a way that they would get that we wouldn't.
For sure.
But it was
Your
funny.
mom like grew up and went to school there, though. I'm sure she has a
Yeah,
little
but
bit
my
more
dad
Russian.
still understood like what was
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on entirely. So you should watch that with your parents.
Dude,
This is like now.
It came
Couple
out
of years
maybe
ago,
like I don't know, 5 years ago.
It's
but
a series or
yeah, and it was like I don't know, maybe like 10 episodes entirely, and it was
really?
one
Oh.
series of things.
and it was one story that finishes.
Yeah, I don't know if they did another season. I'm not sure. And it wasn't like even like, you know, just to set the bar appropriately, and it wasn't some like mind-blowing thing like
Right,
oh
right.
this is the greatest thing ever, like
You being Armenian.
I'm some like art student that's watching Parajanov or something. It was more like, oh, I didn't know that.
This existed.
Yeah, that they made stuff of this quality, and that's kind of
Right.
like really prejudiced of me. You know, they made it there entirely with their own people or
You
whatever.
call it prejudice, or you're just taking in all the information you've been given throughout your life.
Because like what I was saying, like, you know, judging based on
What
the
you've known in
quality
the past,
of the
for sure.
output of like, you know, main, you know, film and television that comes out of Armenia, it's generally like not that interesting in any sort of artistic way. But this was actually really good. So
Hey, can I just say one more thing about the movie? Like, I liked it a lot because it was kind of like, oh, let's ask all these philosophical questions. Like, you know, that was
Yeah.
the main part of the movie. But like, I think it was very religious, obviously, in a way
Yeah.
too. But you know, in an interesting way, not like, you know, 100% like God's the dopest or you suck. But, you know, obviously, a big part of it was this guy and other people asking questions about religion and criticizing religion. Things
yeah,
like
'cause
that.
it's
So-
obviously still a huge part of the culture, whatever. So
Yeah, and I'm sure it was a way bigger question back then, being the Soviet Republic and like also holding on so much culturally to religion that Armenia does. But, you know, but like, you know, I'm
it's
I'm
kind of
very
weird that
maybe even anti-religious, and like I thought it was very interesting. Like it's more of a philosophical debate than, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. But the whole thing is actually the movie is framed in, I think it's the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven or whatever.
Mhm.
Right, that's
That-
the Lord's Prayer.
Najee would have to provide the answer for that.
Our Father
Former
who art in
Catholic
heaven,
student.
I know
Hallowed
the
be thy
prayer. I
name.
don't know. Is that the Lord's prayer?
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
Thine will be.
I can believe that that's the Lord's
Yeah.
Prayer.
Yes, dude, I never learned that like as a kid, which is interesting. I like kind of learned that just recently, like just reading stuff.
Yeah,
over
me
and
too.
over
And you're like, oh, I gotta memorize this.
Kind of like
Come on,
everybody else
trivia.
seems to know it. But anyway, yeah. So the movie's actually framed in that. What do you call it? Once something happens,
Context.
storyline is
Context, yeah. Or
But like literally, like each, I don't know, chapter of it is a line from
oh, really?
the Lord's Prayer.
That's pretty interesting.
But it's
Oh.
better than like I'm making it out to be. It's not like a religious. It's not a sermon or something.
And then Bob became a Christian after he watched that.
Yeah, nope, not gonna happen. All right, let's play games.
Yeah.
That was an artsy dive right there.
Yeah, that was a little bit much. Sorry, guys. So Ginger Baker died today.
Oh, yeah, that's a bummer. I was actually talking to
Ginger the other day.
No, I was talking to Jane about John Bonham recently, and how he was so dope. I
Did
was
you-
reading parts of his Wikipedia. And Ginger Baker actually came up decently often.
Yeah, they were contemporaries.
Yeah.
Both really, really good British drummers.
Yeah.
There was like a viral little Japanese girl, maybe.
I saw that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
where she's playing Good Times, Bad Times.
But I actually played that exact same song, and I was like, Jane, listen for the part where he goes.
Yes.
It was actually really hard to listen for if you don't know when to expect it, honestly.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that is really hard to do with your foot.
Okay, so let's get back to trivia stuff.
Yeah, so we should
'cause
get
that's
started.
not trivial. But here, let me ask you this: we were playing pub trivia the other day. We're doing okay. We had the final question where we can bet up to 20 points.
All right, I bet 20. Is
The
it like
question
Jeopardy
was-
where I got to bet before I know the question?
No.
Okay.
The question was, what is the only country in the world named after a woman, a female?
That's a pretty good question, man.
Right? That's what we said, man, and it was
Oh,
pretty
man,
good.
I want to kind of think of it. Well, I could give one wrong answer, which is Greece in its own language.
Dude, I
That's,
brought up
that's
Greece.
the only wrong answer, you know?
Well,
Dude,
it's not an English
I literally
name.
brought that up. I
Yeah.
was like,
It's like
is
Hellas
it in
or something?
English?
Yeah.
Because it is named after
Helen of
Hellene.
Troy, right?
Hellene.
Or maybe Helen of Troy was named after the
Right.
name of the country. Who knows? It was
So no,
pretty far back.
it is in English, but so the one thing I mentioned was most countries' names are a feminized version
Yeah,
of
like
a male name.
If it derives from Latin or whatever, something like Argentina or something, you mean, or Venezuela,
Colombia, right?
Um,
But even like Australia,
but this is
a
like
feminine
nominally
form.
named after a woman.
Or think of all the countries that end in IA. Those are
Sure,
generally going to
right.
be
If
the feminized
derived from
form.
Latin or whatever, etc. That's pretty hard, man.
Armenia.
Armenia.
I'd want to think about that for a while.
We can come back to it
Unless it comes
next
up,
week.
I'll think about it through the episode, and I'm gonna give my answer. I
Okay.
don't want you to give
But
it away.
can I say before we get, like, the result was
We got it
we
right.
got it.
Bobber got it.
I got but no, we got it. I wasn't 100%
He
sure.
says he's communist until there's a competition. Then it's me.
No, we got it because I was not confident about it, but these guys,
They believed you.
they believed in it.
Who was there? Just Ara and Brandy, you guys?
Yeah, that was old school.
So the crazy thing was it ended up in a 3-way tie.
everyone
for
got
first
everyone got
place.
100.
No fucking way, really.
Yeah, 100 points exactly.
And
Was
then
there a
we-
tiebreaker?
Yeah, which was like some stupid thing that nobody would know. So
Vanilla Ice's net worth.
yeah,
Wow, who fucking cares, though?
We had
Right,
a
nobody
Vanilla Ice
cares.
question earlier.
but everyone
and he
went.
had to make it up like on the spot because he didn't have like a tiebreaker question.
Everyone went super low.
Yeah,
So-
way lower than he.
But anyway, we happened to get second place. Like, it was just kind of a random at that point. But the actual question was really interesting. So think on it.
Yep. I will. I gotta actually not think on it because that's all I've been thinking about while you guys were talking. So let it come to me.
Let
Najee,
it
tell
be.
us what we're doing.
We're doing a podcast
Or what?
called Quiz Quarters.
Oh,
QQ.
QQ. I think. Wait, did
Don't-
you win? No, it's a new.
don't think too
We're
much.
just gonna have to rock paper scissors for first because it was just.
I-
the
Oh,
one
I
that said
wasn't
it.
participating in
Yeah,
the last
yeah.
episode.
But I did win last time.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You
But
can
the
go
last
first.
time that Maher and I played against
I
each
won.
other,
I think you. I think.
Maher won.
Oh,
But
just rock
anyway,
paper scissors.
it's just Sky Bible.
Yep.
2 out of 3.
Sure.
All right, Najee, you can tell them what's happening.
They're rock paper scissoring and.
I thought maybe you would fucking.
That maybe this one time I wouldn't go rock at first.
God damn.
You don't know me, bro.
Okay.
Yes.
Bob just blew me
I
out.
snipped his paper, so
Yep.
Bauer's the winner.
Snip, snip. So Barbara versus Maher, the original trio is back.
All right, so tell them what we're doing, Notch.
We're sticking with our categories. We don't have a guest today, so there's no
There's no special
no
questions.
special questions that are paragraphs long each.
And wonderful.
No, Chris's were long too. Chris,
Yeah, and they were great, dude. I like the background, man.
I'm just
I
saying
thought
they
it
were
was
paragraphs long.
Yep.
We're gonna go back to a newer book that Barbara bought called "What's the Best Trivia Book," and
It's self-referential.
and
Allegedly.
we're going with arts. The arts category. There are 10
So how
questions.
do the rules work?
It's just 1 point a question.
But one person gets it first, and then if they don't get it, the other person
No, there's a
gets
buzzer.
The other person gets to steal. And we're going to do 15 questions?
10.
10
10
questions.
questions.
Okay.
15 doesn't make any sense, Bob.
Why not?
Yep. It's got to be an even number.
Doesn't gotta.
Well, it's not fair. if it's
Doesn't
not.
Gotta sounds like the name
Well-
of like some rainforest in like
Doesn't
Central
Gotta?
Africa.
What the fuck, dude?
The sun has broken on the Dazangara rainforest.
I was watching one of those nature documentaries
The
today.
Dazangara flyer. What's
Yeah.
an animal name? The
Crane, maybe the
crane
Dazangara crane.
whoops over the Dazangara tiger.
So I guess there's 10 questions, 10 points. Hopefully there's no tie, because then we're gonna have to figure out what to do after that. Bobber is the rock paper scissors master when he plays Maher, at least, because Maher doesn't
I'm
learn.
just terrible.
This the one only rule to rock paper
I thought,
scissors.
okay, Bob knows that I
thought I was
know
good.
that he throws rock first.
Yeah. And
That's
then
why
Bob
that's
forgot that you know.
I guess I didn't consider
No.
that.
no, that's Bobber's taunting you. He's like, I'm gonna throw rock, motherfucker.
Even
Yeah.
if you know it, bitch.
I'm telling you, bro, I'm going to throw a rock. I'm going to throw a rock. I'm an honest man. Let's do it.
Okay,
So what's the category?
artsy partsy.
Artsy partsy.
Yep.
Hey, that was a good artsy beginning
Discussion,
to our show. Movies,
On point.
film, cinema.
Question 1, Bobber. Who is the lead singer of Herman's Hermits?
Fuck if I know, dude. That's insane, dude. I don't know. I don't know, and I bet you my hair doesn't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pass.
You don't know me.
Oh, well, let me say it's his name
Wait,
is.
there's
oh,
no
I know
pass.
who it
You
is.
might as well guess.
No, yeah, I know who it is. It's Johnson.
Is it Johnson?
It's Johnson and Johnson. Incorrect.
No more tears. Yeah, I also don't know, but the name of the band sounds kind of familiar.
I've heard of Herman's.
Sounds like
Hermits.
60s or 70s or something.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna throw out a guess and say,
What a popular last name from the 60s.
no. Jeez, I don't know.
This might be kind of hard.
Jones.
You can't take another J name. You're such a copycat.
Incorrect. It is Peter Noon.
Didn't I say Johnson?
Oh
or
shit! Is that
something?
Noon? Noone?
Yeah.
That's the meme. There's a meme about him.
Oh, is there?
Whenever somebody spells no one without a space, they make fun of him like they're referring to Peter Noon.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, dude. Every time I see the word "no one,"
That's one word.
yeah,
Noon?
noon, noon a, noon e.
Nune. My cousin Nune. And your cousin Nune. Holy shit.
Oh, you have a cousin Noon A as well.
I do, yeah.
Nice.
That's not a joke, people. That's an Armenian name.
Yeah, don't laugh.
All right.
You're being racist. All right.
Here we go. Number 2, Maher.
Okay.
What
tell me.
singer was married to Debbie Reynolds, Elizabeth Taylor, and Connie Stevens?
Man, this is some old school shit. Debbie Reynolds, which I think was like the actress from Star Wars' mom,
Oh yeah, huh?
and Elizabeth Taylor, and somebody else I haven't heard of. What was the third
Connie
name?
Stevens.
Connie Stevens. What was
I
the
feel like
singer
I've
that
heard
was
of
married
Connie
to them?
Stevens.
Yep.
Yeah. That I feel like I should know this, like,
So I know kind of the era. I don't really
and I think the person, if we hear it, like, will recognize the name.
probably.
Someone from back in the day.
I don't know. I'm just gonna throw out a guess and say Dean Martin. Although he's not known as a singer, but he did sing. So
He's
fuck
known
it.
as a singer for sure.
Yeah, I think you could call him a singer. That is the incorrect person, though.
Okay.
I think it's another crooner. I think it's
Sammy Davis Sr.
No, now I'm not gonna remember his name because all I can think of is like Sammy Davis Sr. God, he was basically the other one. That's not part of the Rat Pack. That's a crooner. Fuck, what is his name?
There was a Learn League question recently
Was there?
where Dean Martin came up. It was like a pair of this is not interesting. A lot of our listeners probably play Learn League and they know the question.
Whoa, what was it?
I don't know. It was like the answer was Dean Martin and X.
And Jerry Lewis, man.
Yeah.
I told you that was the one where I fucked up
I didn't know
because
Jerry Lewis sang it all though, but
that's not what I was asking though.
yeah, I don't.
They
even
were a
fucking
comedy
remember.
duo.
Yeah, a comedy. It was more like comedy.
And I was thinking about that from the beginning because like we used to watch like that was like kind of big in my household, I guess.
Bob
as
is
like
70
comedy.
years old, by the way.
73. Okay. But I don't know. Like I thought about that, but it seemed like a very early 50. I think it was one of the movies. It said the
Yeah,
question
I was
like in
way off.
1950.
I knew I was wrong too. I put like Abbott and Costello or something, or Laurel and Hardy. Laurel and Hardy is like way fucking early. I think.
Yeah, I put one of those. I can't remember now which one
Yeah.
actually.
I don't even know who Abbott and Costello
I
is.
think I put
Laurel and Hardy
but
is
they
the
were
skinny dude
earlier.
and the fat dude.
Yeah.
I don't know who Abbott and Costello is.
But see, I really didn't know Lewis and Dean. They never called them that.
Yeah, maybe Dean and Lewis. That's why you.
Dean
don't...
and Lewis. Yeah. Okay, so this is the one crooner guy, man. Like I'm hating myself for not remembering this.
I remember one crooner guy whose name is not associated with the Rat Pack. Maybe that's who you're thinking of.
That's probably it, man. Because it's not Frank Sinatra. It's the other guy that like everyone's like all into. But I can't remember his name. It's killing me.
Probably not big enough to marry Elizabeth Taylor, though.
Yeah, for sure. If that's the one I'm thinking of. I feel like I had it right then, and then you started talking.
Sorry.
You started saying stupid shit. Gene Davis. Fuck, I can't remember his name. Oh,
Gina Davis?
nope.
The one I was thinking of, that's your answer, right?
Yeah.
It was Roy Orbison, right?
No,
like some
he's not a
crooner
crooner,
guy.
man.
He's
No,
not?
no. It's going to be this one.
Eddie Fisher.
That's not anyone I was thinking
I've
of.
never heard of Eddie Fisher.
That's...
I've heard of Eddie and Fisher, but not together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
0-0. So far, Nguyen has a point.
So Maher, so can we check back in with Maher to see if he got the answer to the question from Learn League? I mean, from our pub trivia.
Female country.
I haven't even thought about it. Yeah, I don't know. It's one that you have to sit on, and I don't want to just stay silent for a while.
Well, just keep thinking. You promised us like end of the show.
Okay.
It's all right. We're
I
two
promise you
questions
by
in,
end
Bob.
of the show,
Relax.
yeah.
I just want to check back in, dude.
All right, I'm still
Our
do
man
not have
on
an
the
answer.
street.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 3, Bob. How many paintings did Vincent van Gogh sell while he was alive?
1.
Count it.
I'm sorry. That's a really fucking stupid question.
I'm sorry too, man. That's just like a trivia thing that I heard before.
Most trivia questions where the answer is a number is a bad trivia question. I'm just gonna say.
Like all those
Congratulations
all
on
those
the
math
point.
questions that you asked last week.
I don't
The
feel
number- well,
No.
I mean, I would argue that even the answers that were a number, the answer wasn't a number. It was a symbol, right? It was the idea of a number.
I mean, you say congratulations, but I don't feel like that's what you're saying. I'm sorry, man.
No, I meant like I don't mean to take away from the fact that you knew that.
Did you know that?
I didn't know. I mean, obviously it's a lone number. It's not going to be like 23. Otherwise, they wouldn't ask it. You know, in a trivia book. My bad. Bob.
1-0.
I don't mean to shit on you, dude. Good- No. That's good that you knew that. That's
No, it's fine.
that's-
But like,
helicopter's coming to pick up Bob again.
it is literally one of those trivial things that like I've read before.
That comes
like,
up. Yeah.
crazy.
Number 4, Maher. Bobber has 1. You have 0.
I don't want that point.
No, I want
I don't
Bob
want-
to have it. I want him to have it.
You don't decide what points you earn or not.
Quizmaster decides.
What duo had a hit with the song "Islands in the Stream"?
Dean and Lewis.
Man, this is pretty tough. This arts trivia so far. Islands in the Stream. I don't think I've ever heard that before. What duo? Yeah.
You're not allowed to go on.
I don't know. Nat King Cole and his daughter.
Incorrect.
Okay. Now we got to fill some time.
Fill time.
Was it Phil King Cole?
What? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is pretty hard in general,
Yeah.
except that one.
Which is weird because I feel like we did this book like what once?
Twice,
And-
I think. We did 2 categories on it.
Yeah. I don't remember it being hard. I remember the other book being particularly hard. This one was all right.
Yeah,
But arts is one of my lowest category in Learn League. But the one I should really improve is literature because that gets asked a lot, and I don't read books, so that really hurts.
Didn't you study art in high school though?
I mean, like, I know a certain period of art decently well, I guess. I don't know, late 1600s to late 1800s or something, maybe. But other than that, like, contemporary shit, I don't know at all.
Yeah, right. And that's all, like, European art, too, right? Basically, that's it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, most arts questions would be about that. Do you see a lot of global arts questions on Learn League? Like, questions about art from others?
Maybe, yeah, a little bit. But honestly, like, a lot
Well, no, that's what we're saying. It's usually European.
A lot of the 20th century stuff, or even mid to late 20th century stuff, and I'm just like, I might as well just put a random thing in here because I have no fucking idea. Because I never learned about it at all,
So what was your answer?
He said Nat King Cole and his daughter.
Which was wrong.
What's his daughter's name?
Natalie, I think, is it?
Natalie King Cole?
Wait, what is Nat King Cole's name? Nathan?
No idea.
Nathaniel?
All right, I don't know. Let's say it's Sonny Bono and Cher.
Incorrect.
Who is it?
Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton.
Okay. I know those two people, so I know of them.
Who's Kenny Rogers? Yeah, I know Kenny Rogers. He had that
yeah, the chicken place.
Chicken place. Yes.
You fat fucks.
Wait, was the chicken place related to the singer?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, it was
but-
him. It was him, yeah.
Okay.
1-0 Bob's lead, and it is his question. Question 5. What musical features
Naju. Question.
Oh, dude, do you not even know Naja's name?
Is it question 5?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
What musical features the song "Getting to Know You"?
Grease.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Yeah, basically this question reads to me like, name a musical.
That's not a question.
So did I not name a musical?
Bob, we're correct.
Getting to Know You. So it seems like something.
I think I know this song.
Grease was a good
Something.
one.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's something like kind of romantic or
Best
whatever.
musical.
Fuck. Can I have
Fuck, I have no idea. I'll say
can I have some
Rent, just because that's one of the musicals I know.
Can I get a pride guess?
Is it Rent, Naju?
It's not Rent.
You don't know that. You're not Naju.
Naju. It is not Rent.
Maybe West Side Story, like a love musical.
Yeah, there was a love story in that. Allegedly.
Okay, I guess not. Yeah, it's Romeo and Juliet set in New York.
When I read the question for the first time, I almost read the answer because I was just looking at the number 5 and I was like,
"Oh fuck, I should have listened."
Yeah, I almost
To
said
your mind.
I almost said the. So the first word is
The Music Man. Is it?
King and I.
King and I. What that is.
King and I.
King and I. No, not the Music Man. What the fuck is the Music Man?
Fuck if I know.
The King and I know. I've heard of that. Yeah.
I have to yeah. Okay.
Yul Brynner was the actor in it. If
In
you
the
had asked me
movie
that, I
version.
knew that. Oh, whatever.
Oh.
All right, here we
What
go.
was it the king of?
Thailand or some shit.
What? I've never heard of such a nation. Says the
Siam.
king. Siam. All right.
All right, question 6, 1-0 Bobber still.
All right, I still have a shot.
Shot in the dark. What instrument did Bob Dylan play in his recording debut?
Well, guitar is a obvious answer, but it's too obvious, I feel like. Second most obvious would be like harmonica, or maybe piano, just because most musicians play piano. But then to like, what did it say in his first audition?
Recording debut.
I mean, like, just to have like what a harmonica is not quite. You wouldn't expect a solo harmonica recording, I feel like.
Nobody said
Yeah,
it's
no
solo.
one said solo.
Fucking maybe it is, because he did play harmonica in quite a few of his songs.
And guitar in
Well, yeah,
probably
guitar
every
is
single other one.
extremely obvious. So, I mean, like, I almost want to say guitar because, like, just from like a Bayesian perspective, like it's the most obvious answer.
Whoa. Oh, by the way, speaking of
Wait, what
Beijing,
the-
that has to do with math, right?
A little bit, yeah.
What do you mean a little bit?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
entirely, yeah.
What is it? What does that mean?
It's like measuring probability based on like your prior beliefs on evidence or something. Generally,
yeah,
something like
fuck
that.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck does that mean?
You guys know what that means.
Eat a dick, bro.
But I did look up, and Euclidean geometry
Oh, you did.
does go into solids, 3-dimensional solids.
Well, Euclid did a whole bunch of fucking shit.
This is
dude.
a
yeah.
bobhead. See?
I swear to God, Bob's phone just started talking out of nowhere. Google, this is getting out of hand. This is
Dude,
not
nobody
appropriate.
asked you, bro.
Nobody
Sis?
asked you. Yeah.
That's not cool. Stop listening to us. We're
You
recording
probably
this.
have some setting on.
Well,
that-
listen to us at this point.
Yeah.
when
I
we're
mean,
doing
that's
a
literally
podcast.
never happened to me.
That's
so-
never happened to me either.
Yeah.
Bob has some setting on where his Google assistant
Well,
just
my
starts.
FBI man's like,
Bob's been infiltrated.
okay, so when we're doing a podcast, you can listen. Otherwise, but yeah, 3-dimensional solids. That's a
Yeah,
big
the
part
conic
of Euclid.
sections or whatever, was that Euclid?
I don't know.
Like circles, ellipses, hyperbolas, etc.
He was just looking for
Three-dimensional
three-dimensional solids, and then right when he got there, he stopped reading.
It's
He's
like,
like,
Euclid.
"Yes, I
Yeah,
win.
Euclid.
I win."
I didn't win. At that
You
point, I
actually
was like,
got that
okay,
question right, though. The
my
question about
hair
Euclid.
is yeah, the
The
parallel lines.
That was really good, Bob.
Thanks. But yeah, see, I knew the general vicinity
Yeah.
of the answer. All right, so what's happening now?
Oh yeah, Bob Dylan's instrument
Is this
in his
a
first
podcast?
recording. It says.
What
Dude.
instrument did Bob Dylan play in his recording debut?
So it might not even be something that exists.
But it
anymore.
might be something random like fucking banjo or ukulele or something.
It
you
might
know?
be, man. But I know the answer, by the way.
Do you? Oh fuck.
I don't know. I'm where you're at.
You know,
I have a feeling that Bobber's gonna get it if you don't get it.
No, that's the
Fuck.
thing, man. It sucks to go first in this one.
I don't know. I don't want to say guitar because if the answer was guitar, it wouldn't make it into a trivia book.
You're gonna have to like coin.
Point flip between what?
I mean, those are the two things I was guessing. I have to tell
Guitar and harmonica.
you. Yeah, but I could be totally wrong too. Don't listen to me.
I don't think it's guitar.
I'm misleading you.
It could be harmonica. It could be piano because most musicians learn how to play the piano at some point, right? Not
Piano
Can you
forte.
confirm that?
No, I
Dude,
can't
you
confirm
can't
that.
give him
Can't
hints,
confirm
dude.
it.
Can't do
People
that.
had
You know
like
what?
people who had a formal education, sure. Formal
Yeah.
education.
I guess so.
man.
Hey,
My head didn't
hey,
know
whoa,
that.
whoa. They could have learned harpsichord, not you. I think the safest guess is harmonica, so I'll just try to take that and say harmonica.
Fucking finally. Yes, it's harmonica.
Oh, okay, all right, great.
It
Wow.
didn't. It didn't have to be guitar because some other dude was playing guitar.
Yeah, he was like some up and coming dude. It's like,
Yeah,
dude,
he
you
was
don't
a
get to
singer.
play fucking guitar in the song. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah.
Well, he was like a poet songwriter, and he just like had people play music.
Yeah, but
At the
who
beginning.
has like a specialist harmonicist come on a song, you know? Right?
But why is it special though?
Like you would
So
just
that's all he
not have
played.
harmonica in the song.
Right, but it was his song.
We don't know that.
Oh, probably it was.
I'm imagining he was like playing on some other dude's song, but it's like if we don't have a harmonica player, like oh too bad. Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
No,
I'm
no,
imagining-
no. This is like his first solo album. Is he played harmonica on it and sang with the band?
Just harmonica
No, he sang.
Well, yeah, he sang.
Yeah,
voice.
But he didn't play
Well,
guitar.
yeah. I don't. That's how I understood
Oh
the
shit!
question.
I did not understand the question in that way. I thought he was
Well,
like
I mean,
some
it didn't tell you
session
that.
musician or something.
Well, the answer. I mean,
Guys,
the question didn't tell you that. I understood it because it said harmonica because I had the
Okay.
answer right.
Yeah. All right.
Wait,
Now we know
literally
harmonica was the
question
answer.
asked with his debut recording.
Yeah. What did he play on that album? So
Tie game. Let's move on. I got the question right because I'm a huge Bob Dylan fan.
This question took such a long time.
Yeah.
well, you did fucking bring up
This is gonna be a long
What did
episode,
I bring
folks.
up?
Buckle in.
Harmonicas?
no, you took it to a different place, and then we had to come back to Bob Dylan's instrument.
Harmonica.
Thanks, Bob.
Is that my
7-1-1. Question going to Bobber.
Robert Zimmerman?
Incorrect.
Yep.
Maher.
No way.
Wait, I also don't get to hear the question. Sting.
What natural landmark was the inspiration for the song America the Beautiful?
What? Man. I feel like
This is doable, Bubber. Just think
It's
of all
definitely doable.
all the natural landmarks that you know.
I'm-
then
I'm-
all
I'm-
the words of the
Probably
song.
in America.
I'm,
Is it the Purple Mountains Majesty?
huh. I'm just gonna say
Is that the
real
song?
quick because I'm sure it could be, but Grand Canyon. Final answer.
Grand Canyon is incorrect.
Yeah, I think I was thinking of two things. Like, you think of natural, quote unquote, wonder in America. It's probably Grand Canyon or like Niagara Falls was the other one I was thinking of.
But Niagara Falls too like
It's only halfway
friendly
in
with
America.
Canada. Well, I'm
Um,
thinking about one specific other thing, but
What else
I don't
would
think
stand
that's it.
out, like as far as natural wonder? I mean, Grand Canyon's the
lot.
big one.
A lot. Well,
I mean,
one of
you
them
can say like some
inspired.
fucking big ass mountain.
Well,
like,
one of them inspired Theodore Roosevelt to make the national park system, right?
I don't know, Mount Rushmore. It was
Yeah,
crazy
that
how
natural formation.
Dude, that looks like me.
It's a fucking sign from God. I'm meant to be here.
Teddy Roosevelt was like, "Oh shit,
Dude.
right? That looks like fucking my face, bro."
All right, Theodore, relax.
I can't think of anything that stands out other than those two. So I don't want to dwell on it too much because I feel like Niagara Falls is probably a pretty good answer. It's like halfway in America, halfway in Canada, or something. I don't know exactly, exactly where the
America's not
international
about
border.
sharing, bro.
I don't know. It could be like Mount Whitney or Mount Shasta or some shit. I don't
It could be
even know what
anything,
those
man.
places
It could be
are.
like
It could be
not-
like the, Dead Valley, like just a bunch of fucking
Yeah,
desert or
it's
some shit.
beautiful. I was gonna say the Everglades, but no, that's disgusting.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's say Niagara Falls. Is it Niagara Falls?
Incorrect.
Damn, what was it?
It is Pikes Peak.
Ah, that's bullshit.
That's like a mountain in Washington or something, I think. Okay.
I don't know.
You know better than me.
Well, I know Pike's Place. I'm imagining they're named after the same Pike.
So, I think Teddy Roosevelt famously visited Yosemite and was like all taken by it.
Oh, yeah, but that's not a landmark. This is an area, right?
No,
Half Dome or
half
whatever.
yeah, that's definitely a landmark.
Yeah, yeah.
1-1. Question 8 going to Maher.
Can you guys fill some time? Sorry, I can't.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
okay.
Lee, why don't you think about it? Why don't you think about it while you go? What is the barber of Seville's name?
Oh, come on.
Ah, Bobber doesn't like it. Well, that's the way the crumble cookies, Bobber. I guess Bobber is upset and he's plugging his ears.
Wait, did Mer take his cell phone? No, he didn't. Is he talking to Dennis about this? Nobody knows.
What do you like that guy accusing us of cheating at Lincoln House?
Yeah, what was that, dude? Fuck you, dude. By the way, guy that you are.
And I don't know if you noticed he was there this last week and he was like trying to be like, "Hey, you guys," and then like no one looked at him. So he kind of
Yeah, I just don't know how to respond to that.
yeah.
Like,
No, I mean I hate you now.
if
That's
you-
my response.
If you knew me in the least, you would know that I am an honorable trivia man.
Well, it doesn't even matter. None of there's no reason that you would ever need to do that.
Right.
Ever. Like period. Why would you do that to someone? It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, he's just jealous, Naju, that we were winning so much.
But we weren't. Shut up, Bobber. Now the audience knows.
Shut up. Did you hear?
Did you hear the answer? Because Bobber just said it a bunch of times.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
Is it my question?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're filling time.
Yeah, we're filling time.
It's a Phil. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I had my guess. Maybe it's fucking wrong.
What is it?
Well, I only know of this because of like the Disney cartoon or whatever. But I think
What do
these
you-
two names are associated with each other. I think it's Figaro. Is that it?
What Disney
That's-
cartoon?
The Barber of Seville or something?
There's no Disney cartoon based on an opera. I mean, The Barber of Seville.
I think so, man. There's Bugs Bunny, or maybe that's Warner Brothers. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's not Disney.
yeah. I guess it's Warner Brothers. It's Bugs Bunny. I'll say Figaro. I don't know if that's wrong or
Yeah,
right. I
fuck you,
fucking know
dude.
anything, dude.
That's all I was. That's what I was singing before you.
I was filling time in the bathroom, so I didn't hear it.
Were you figuring time?
Yeah, I was Figaroing. The answer was that. What are you gonna say?
That is Maher's lead. 2 points.
Jump, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like that's
Congratulations.
I mean, that's the sort of thing. Like, I literally know nothing about opera, and like, if there was like a list of possible questions you could ask me that I would know, that would be at the top probably.
Hey, have you guys heard of or seen the movie Oscar with Sylvester Stallone?
No, I've never heard of that. No.
It's good. It's a comedy of errors. I think it's based on the Barber of Seville.
Oh, really? Yep, never even heard of it.
But anyway, the audience heard me say the right answer, so that's for you, Bob Heads.
I was out of the room.
Wrapping it up. Last question to Bobber.
Oh, fuck. Last question for the tie?
No, last one that goes to him.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean? This is question 8?
9.
Question
It's 9.
9.
That's the one that goes to you.
9.
What was Chuck Berry's only #1 hit? Anyone make cricket noises?
Like Johnny Be Good. I'm not gonna think about it. Johnny Be Good.
That sounds like a pretty good answer.
Johnny Be Good is incorrect.
Okay. That's like his most well-known song, probably, right? His only other song I know of, other than the one where he's with John Lennon and Yoko Ono acts really fucking weird. Have you guys seen that video?
I think they're just singing Johnny Be Good.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
And I think every video with Yoko Ono is the one where she's acting weird.
Yeah. The only other song I know is Maybelline, so I'll say is it Maybelline.
You fucking dick.
Maybelline is incorrect.
Oh, yes. You're still a dick.
What was it? Why
My
Can't You Be
Ding-a-Ling.
Good. I've heard of that. I didn't know that was Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry.
It was about his penis.
Was it though canonically?
Well, it was about like a little bell that he had.
Yeah.
But he kept
That he would put into women.
But he kept motioning towards his penis.
Okay.
All
So
right,
it's
Bobber. I mean,
inside
Maher
secret.
for the
All right, I gotta hope.
clincher.
If I get this, I win. All right, let's do it.
Clinch that. I was going to say something, but I decided not to.
Thank
Number 10. What was the biggest hit for the Animals in 1964?
I think we're just gonna get this for
I
sure.
actually don't know, man.
I'm pretty sure.
I should know this.
Snippy, snippy, snippy.
Oh my God, Bob's gonna tie me. Because I'm blanking out. I remember vaguely that there was a song that I thought was the Doors for the longest time, but it was actually the Animals.
Why? Because it kept coming up when you downloaded songs illegally.
Yes,
As the Doors?
that is exactly the reason why. So I was trying to download songs by the Doors, and this song probably came up.
That's a good trivia question because I think it's the same answer. Just what
Yeah,
song all kept coming out.
I'm literally like I'm
Yeah.
telling my hair that's it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think that's it. That's the
Am I
song.
remembering the right song? If I miss this, Bob's gonna and Naja's gonna relentlessly make fun of me.
When do I ever do that?
Don't give it away because then
Well,
I'm
that's
gonna
Johnny
be
Be
more.
Good.
I'm gonna be more embarrassed if you try to give
Johnny
it away.
Be Good on like as the intro.
It might have been Johnny Be Good by the Doors. I don't know.
That
I'll
was
just
the
throw this
Animals'
out
biggest
there.
hit. Johnny Be
Was
Good by
it
the
like,
Doors.
House of the Rising Sun.
That's it.
You win.
Was that it?
Yeah.
That's
oh
it.
fuck!
Yeah, man.
Because it was so weird. It was like one of those very vague memories I had where I was like, "Yeah, I think that was the Animals," but I was totally not sure.
Yeah,
or
it's
if
not
I
a
got
big
it-
memory I had. I knew that answer.
Yeah. Bob should get more points for that. I think.
All right, give me half a point. And
Well, you can
still win.
split that point. Yeah, he'll still win.
All right, I'll take it. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like kind of a Doors-ish song.
There is a house. So we talked about this before, Naj, that this is one of those old songs like nobody really knows who wrote
where
it.
it came from.
Yeah, right?
But yeah, that was actually pretty cool. I like that episode.
Wait, what episode?
This one that we're recording.
Oh, really?
It ran a little bit long.
I'll give it like a three stars out of 5.
I would give it 5 stars out of 5.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Mostly
give it
'cause, like,
0 because I didn't win. Just kidding. That's not how I rate them.
But either way,
That was one. Oh,
handshake
yeah,
for my
man.
co-contestant. And thank you, Najee, for hosting. You did
Thank
an
you,
excellent job.
hosting.
And listeners, you did an even more excellent job.
Yeah, you guys are killing it out there.
Yeah, you guys are doing great.
Like what you're doing right now, that's 100% of what we asked for.
It's amazing. Yeah.
What do we have? 2 Twitter followers?
Yeah, but this isn't like a Twitter show. You know?
Literally, somebody just gave us advice on Twitter, but it's like I'm doing the absolute minimum effort on Twitter, and probably even less than that.
I just don't want to deal with Twitter, man. But
We can do like Instagram.
hey,
or
if
something.
that guy wants to take over a
It's
Twitter
just so
page,
much
but-
fucking work, dude. Like,
Yeah.
just listen to it, bro. I don't know.
Hey, man, that's why we're here. It's not too much work. We
Oh, yeah.
care about the
At
listeners.
Quiz
Cut
Quarters,
this
by the
part
way,
out.
follow us.
Don't tell the listeners this is way too much work.
I don't want to reach out to you fuckers.
No.
You guys should just discover it on your own.
Hey,
At
you guys
Quiz
are great,
Quarters.
though, man. Yeah, I'm really amazed that some people around the world are listening, and we love it, and we thank you. And
Hey, we love our francophone listeners, by the way. We got some
For
Quebecois
sure.
listeners and some
for sure,
listeners in France.
Yeah,
Merci
and-
beaucoup.
those francophone listeners have something to say to you, anglophone listeners.
Yeah.
17.
What about their mode of
89.
government?
Yes. Chop,
See, the
chop.
French got it right, you know.
French got
you
it
just
right.
got you just got to jump to the end point. Just go all out.
Peace.
All right.
Later.
Hey.